Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Shanus. So by now, you should have already seen the install video, and I've probably given you guys quite a bit of information regarding the ADD W1 catch can kit. Just going over once again, this kit is made universal and also as a direct fit kit for plenty of models, from the KTM's Veloster, Kia Stinger, to name a few, all the way to Chevy Camaros, the WRX, the list goes on. And the cool thing is, for some of those, they have direct fit of what they call a stage 1 and a stage 2. So for example, on the Veloster, you have a single can kit, and then obviously you have the dual can kit that we installed on the car. For the WRX, an example is they have a stage 1, they have a stage 2, and then they have both of them together, so you can choose which one you'd like, because on the WRX you have multiple mounting points, so that's kind of cool. But what this video is a little bit more information and a little bit more in depth of the product, because obviously in the install you guys already know what a catch can is and what it does, and I just kind of showed you how to obviously install it and kind of the outcome. So I kind of wanted to go over the product a little bit more itself and just show you how awesome this kit is. So again, huge shout out to ADD W1. This is really cool because on the Veloster platform, you do have the option of going single can or dual can, and I'm gonna go a little bit more into that. But let's get straight into the box contents. This is what it looks like, more or less, when you get it. So it's an oil catch can kit, nice little box, and then obviously it'll have the can of your color choosing. Again, that's one of the cool, neat things, is that you get to choose the color that you want to go with. So if you want to go with a matching color to match your vehicle, you have that opportunity. Otherwise, you can go with black to just kind of keep it as incognito as possible. So as I'm opening it, it's very well packed, as you can see. There's instructions, decals, so a nice little decal in there, instructions, your hose, your fittings and whatnot, and after you remove the very well sealed can itself, you have the can. Now I'm just going to focus on the can because that's kind of the main component. This is their new V3 kit, so obviously they've gone through a few iterations, but I'm really kind of overwhelmed by how much attention to detail they put into this kit, and I'll show you in a second why. So the can itself has a bracket already, so that's really cool for those of you trying to do a universal fitment that doesn't have a custom bracket. You have that, but right off the bat, as you can tell, there is multiple mounting points. So that's huge, and obviously it was a really big deal when we installed the kit on the Veloster because of the way the cans mount on their custom bracket for that kit, and obviously for other kits that they have in their lineup. So that's kind of a really big takeaway, because a lot of cans have usually just a single mounting point and that's it. You just kind of have to work with where the outlet and inlets for the hose go, and more or less that could be hit or miss. But the other thing is, as opposed to other some of the cheaper catch cans that have the little oil indicator on the side, which can be flimsy and honestly not sealed very well, is that they include a dipstick. So literally you untwist that and you go in and there it is. And I don't know if the camera will catch it, and unfortunately the camera's not catching it, but there's multiple notches. There's one right here where my fingernail's at, then there's one here and one here. So that'll give you an idea of how full the can itself is. And that's actually really cool for those of you that might want to keep this strictly as a street application for your vehicle and not actually tracking the car. Mainly because, as you saw in one of my older videos, if you're only doing light to moderate kind of inspired driving, you might not even have to remove this for a few oil changes or oil change intervals, because obviously, as you saw in my video, it wasn't really full, and there's still quite a bit of capacity in these. So that's kind of a nice little way to check instead of having to remove the can itself. And obviously, if you guys are tracking the car, you can avoid the heat, because obviously the car would be hot anyways, and then check to see if it's time to remove the can and drain it. Another thing I like about the cans themselves is the fact that it's obviously clearly marked inlet and outlet. On my can, because it was so dark, it was kind of a little hard to see the original can that I had, the Mishimoto. It was a little hard to tell, so that's kind of a nice little takeaway right away. But the other thing, and this is kind of a complaint for that specific can that I had, is that I like how they're actually parallel and, you know, just right next to each other. One of the issues that we had installing the custom can kit that I did was that the inlet and outlet were actually angled out. So that made it really hard to mount in a nice and neat way. Obviously I found a solution and I kind of showed you guys that, but this, especially with the fact they have dual cans, is just very nice and clean. The hoses obviously came out perpendicular, so no issue there. Opening this up, and this is kind of the coolest part, so obviously these colors are removable, so if you ever want to update the color, you have multiple colors, schemes, or you change the color of your vehicle, the collar comes right off, and you can add a replacement one. So they were nice enough to send me black ones in case I wanted to do that color out. So it's really neat. I really like that you could just easily replace those. Obviously, disclaimer, when you're taking it off, be careful not to have it just fall off and fall somewhere in the engine bay. But really huge props as well is, compared to the original can, I felt like where the baffling was, it was just kind of hanging. Obviously it was well constructed, but I like how, as you can see, the baffling's right here, but it's protected by the actual threading point, so that's really neat. And obviously here's the dipstick, and as you can tell, there we go. Just overall great quality. Love the way the baffling is made. It's really cool, very easy to see. The can itself is, you know, pretty wide, and then obviously you have the drain plug portion at the bottom. So if you don't want to remove the whole can, and if you decide to do a universal kit where you mount these low, or even wherever they mount, if you have ability to get to it from underneath the car, you can obviously unscrew that and drain the oil that way, instead of having to take apart the can like I did, and to drain it. So that's really neat. And obviously putting it back together is a breeze. Just put the collar, you can let the collar seat, and then just twist, and relatively easy. Just obviously be careful because they are a little heavy. So when you're doing this on your actual car, you can, you know, hold this, line it up, and then tighten, and there we go. So really awesome. Glad I was able to kind of show you guys the can itself. Let's get straight to the other stuff in the kit, because that's just as equally as important. All right guys, now we're back outside and we're under the hood, and just more attention to detail with the kit. I know I kind of praised it on the install, but a lot of the stuff that I like is obviously, and it is optional, but you have the customizable clamps, and again, attention to detail, because if you recall, one of these has a larger hose than the other side. So this is, as you can tell right there in the front, it says both are 9mm. This one I actually hid that in the back, but this is 15, I believe, and this one's the 9. And I love all the little things about it. So you have the matching washer, the matching collars underneath, which I'll go over in a moment. The dipsticks stock, or with the kit, comes normal black, but you can also get these customized, and that's kind of major, because again, if you're trying to color accent, you can get custom hose clamps, the washer, the dipsticks, the collars. So again, it's just very thoroughly made. This little small metal bracket is extremely sturdy, and again, on top of that, the fact that it's baffled, it has a very nice mounting point. They just thought of everything. Sorry. And earlier there's something that I also pointed out underneath. They all have each one that bolt. I'm going to show you what that's for right now. I was also mentioning, which is optional, I'm not doing a video on it today because my catch cans don't require it, but for me, they were nice enough to include their drain kit. So this is optional as well, but what you're able to do is, instead of having to remove the catch cans, which some people do, and obviously I did with my old Mishimoto setup, you can literally connect one of these fittings that's in the middle, or I took them out on this one so you can see, to the bottom of the can, connect the appropriate hose and cut it to whatever length, and there's this little check valve, which I don't know if you can see. Let me take it out real quick. So you would adapt something like this elbow to the bottom of the can, or even a straight fitting if you just want it to go straight down. The elbow might come in handy for a can that's a little like the further back one that's meant for the intake, but for the one that's directly in front, something like this might be amazing. You would basically connect the hose, but at the end of that hose you could connect this check valve, which, if you could see, it's plugged up, but when you need to drain it, it's as simple as, and obviously I'd recommend capping it off, but with the twist of this little knob, whoa, wrong way, with the twist of the knob, you see that it's well, oh, oops, so it was open, so I don't know if you could see, there you go, so it's opened up clear through, but when you don't need it, you twist it and it's locked, no airflow. And then reopening it, just open it, and then just open it, and there you go. So they've kind of thought of everything. I really like that. The cool thing is, I mean, even if you didn't happen to have an ADD W1 catch can kit, you can actually still order that drain kit, because a lot of other oil catch can companies, including the one I had before, use kind of a similar method where they have that little drain in the center. So what better way to make your life easier? You don't obviously, so you might not be in the market to switch your catch cans because you might already have something, but you want to make your life easier. You can go to ADDW1's website and buy the drain kit all on its own, so that's pretty neat. Again, this was a custom kit, so I had the custom bracket for both catch cans, but if you buy a universal, say you're trying to mount these catch cans to your own ride and they don't have a kit, which again, keep your eyes peeled because they're constantly coming out with new kits for new vehicles. But if they don't have one for your kit for your car, say it's a little older or whatnot, they come with universal mounting brackets right from the start, and all it takes for you is to mount it wherever you'd like the firewall if you have enough room, or make your own bracket to mount these onto. So you have all kinds of solutions. They've kind of thought of a lot of different ways to help you guys out. So again, I'm extremely happy with the kit. I'm happy with the extras, you know, the drain kit, the little customization options all the way down to the dipsticks. So as always guys, this was just a quick review of the product. Last time I installed it and I did show basically the quality of it, but I wanted to show you guys a little more in depth, especially since I wasn't able, or I forgot to open it up last time. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for all the love and support guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which is more installs. Bye. It's locked, doors are closed. Alright guys, we're strapped up. We got fuel, we got tubes, we got, well that, but we'll explain in a different video.